Hello, welcome to Redmen TV. It's Uncensored Match Build-Up Show. Liverpool taking on Burton Albion in the second round of the League Cup because we're not in Europe and that's a thing. Chris is here, Aubrey's here. Let's talk about it. I do have a trivia question, which I'll get to in a moment. But yeah, ultimately, Chris, it's a weird game, this, because I think this team almost would have picked itself 2 weeks ago. But with the injuries that we've suffered, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, with the injuries we've suffered, there's now a case where it could end up being, rather than an entire second string team, we might have no choice but to have a few senior players continue in this. Because, you know, I think the concern was this season was there's not going to be a lot of game time. So it meant that loads of players were going to play, and all of a sudden those players are basically injured. So,
yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing my starting 11 prediction show. Tricky, yeah. I canvassed the room a little bit earlier on. There's quite a few different ideas of who's going to play and who's not. I think we're going to see probably one or two, so probably two of our first choice back four or potential first choice back four starting. The goalkeeper as well is probably going to be a thing. It's going to be a tough one. I don't know fuck all about Burton. I'm just going to throw that out there straight off the bat. Like,
it probably could have covered that up by just not talking about them. It's fine.
The Championship, aren't they?
They are Championship.
So we got a little bit unlucky with the draw because you can have like league. You could go as League Two. Mm-hmm. So we've actually got. You can't. I think Premier League teams seeded away from each other.
Yeah.
So we got the pretty much as tough a draw as we can get within. It could have been a higher placed Championship team.
They could have been.
Because this time last year you saw Klopp, and obviously Rodgers as well took the first round. He played like the Exeter game. You'd be talking, oh, Randall's playing left back and Alexander Arnold's playing right back, and he could go that crazy and play that. If we'd have got a League Two team, I think you'd see that, and possibly Lucas injured at centre half. With it being a Championship team and they've played 4 games already, it might be more first team members.
This is the one for me that my immediate thinking was, with everyone fit, you've got like Mignolet starts this, Ojo starts. There's all these guys that are probably only going to play predominantly cup games this season. Ultimately, you know, you're talking about maybe 10 or 15. You can put like 10 starts total throughout the entire season, maybe up to like 20 appearances with subs and all that. But there is that crossover thing. And also, now that we're in the season, and we've talked about this lack, you know, there is a lack of games, because even if we have a good cup run in the League Cup, you're not adding an unbelievable workload there, and we should have a squad capable of actually putting strong teams out in this competition and still fielding a very, very strong team in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, we should. It's a difficult one, because we talked earlier before the season that you have 24 players maximum that we've used during a season where we've not got Europa League football. That would say that we're going to be using some of our mainstays from the first team squad in this game, and you know, after the results at the weekend and with the injuries, it's like you're talking about Woodburns and stuff like that, whereas I never really considered Woodburn would get a start in these cup games, but now with the injury to Ojo, the likelihood is he may well figure. Emre Can, will he figure? He's had a bit of a back injury or rustiness or something they've been saying the last couple of weeks. Is he going to figure in this game? Is he going to be fit enough for Tottenham? It's a really strange one, and then you've considered not only who's going to be playing, what formation are we going to be playing? Yeah. Are we going to continue with the 4-3-3 that we've seen in the first 2 games of the season, or do we drop into a 4-2-3-1 because the players seem to suit that formation a little bit better that we've got available?
Yeah, it's one of them. Let's use Emre Can as an example for this. So Emre Can's, you know, he's been given a bit more time off. He didn't join the tour until, you know, a bit later on. So he's not had the lead up that a lot of the players have had. Now, he's clearly we would presume he's our first choice defensive midfielder. He's one of the first names on the team sheet when he's fit, based on last season. Now, if he needs fitness, do you play him in this game and still play him in Spurs? As in, does he need minutes on the pitch to get himself finally back up to speed? And if that's the case, would that write him out of a game of the weekend? Because let's face it, no matter which way you slice it, the Spurs game is far more important than this game. Is that the mentality you go with, if nothing else? Or do you say, no, Emre Can continues to be wrapped in cotton wool. He shouldn't even be in contention for this because he's so important to our first team that, you know, you pick someone else and you just make sure he's ready for the weekend?
Honest answer, I don't know. if it's me personally,
What are you here for,
I
Aubrey?
play Emre Can.
Yeah.
If it's me, if you're asking if it's my decision, I play Emre Can to get him up to speed because it's like playing a pre-season game that he missed out on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, that's very derogatory to Burton and the cup competition. But ultimately, in sheer number of game time, he came on in one of the pre-season games. He came on against Arsenal. He came on against Burnley. He starts against Burton. That's his pre-season done. He's up to match fitness to start against Tottenham. Thinking about it, as you've just said it, we've kind of been done a little bit there, haven't we, by having the Saturday morning early kick-off. Liverpool, Tottenham, couldn't you put that on the Monday night football and give us those extra days away from the... no, it couldn't. There's no Monday night football because of international
Tuesday
break,
night
but
to Saturday, regardless.
still should be okay. But yeah, so I personally would play Chan. I don't know what Klopp's going to do. I have no idea because you can make an honest argument for both of them, and I could agree with both of those arguments. Someone could say to me beforehand, he's going to get him minutes, he's going to start him because he's going to get him up and running. It's Emre Can. Emre Can's young, he's dynamic, he's fit. So he's not that unfit. He only had 2 weeks off, etc. Or no, you protect him because in a game like this, Kevin Stewart's guaranteed to be playing. Because he should be playing, because this is his bread and butter this season. So why do you need Emre Can to start in a game when you've got guaranteed Kevin Stewart?
If Kev Stewart doesn't start this game,
What's Kevin Stewart?
what game is he starting?
Yeah.
He's not starting any games if he doesn't start this game. That's what it comes down to. And then it's then a trust issue who's playing alongside him. Do you trust Kevin Stewart to play that one on his own, or do you think we're going to need someone alongside him? And again, that doesn't really... Kevin Stewart doesn't come off very well in that scenario. If you don't trust him to play that position on his own, again, why have you got him in that squad?
Again, you're not changing the formation to suit Kev Stewart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a strange one, and then you've got the likes of Marko Grujic, who I hope to see in this, and I hope that this is the type of game he comes in and he scores a goal, or he plays really fucking well, and the next game you're on, well, you know what? Wijnaldum, Henderson haven't really started that great. Let's give Grujic a chance in the Premier League game against Tottenham.
I think the big one for me is Joel Matip.
Yeah.
I think the question mark is Emre Can, but yeah, I think Matip, Grujic, Origi.
Yeah.
And I think those are, and there's probably one or two we can add to that for the sake of argument, but I think those are the guys who are looking to knock on the door of the first team, and actually Klopp almost needs to give them an excuse to do that, because, I mean, you could equally make a case for give Daniel Sturridge some more game time, or hey, look, Danny Ings as well, you know, where's he getting minutes on the pitch for Liverpool if he's not playing in a League Cup game away to a mid-table Championship side? It's a big one. It's a big one for the manager, but I think nothing else. I think, look, Joel Matip was his number one defensive target. The defence hasn't been right. Clavan's been fine. You know, I don't think you can. I think he's probably been one of the few that you can say can probably keep his head held up high throughout both games, even though the defence has been shite. But Matip, we've said this before, is a guy who looks like he's probably going to need games to get up to speed. So he's, for me, it's a big opportunity for not just for him, but almost for Klopp to kind of, because I don't think you drop Matip straight in against Spurs, having not played a competitive game for Liverpool. That could be a big gamble, but it's an interesting one. I didn't do a trivia. You want a trivia question?
Go ahead.
We all know that Burton's manager is Nigel Clough. If you didn't know that, you do now. How many League Cup games did he play for Liverpool? And how many League Cup goals did he score as well? Have a little think on that.
All right,
see if you can go back and
I'll
see
just
if you can
remember all of them.
Remember his League Cup appearances.
Shall we shout it out?
No, we're going to do the answer at the end. You've done
I thought we could do our answers and then we'd have the real answer at the end.
No, that's not.
But if you... Okay, you mean you could shout a number out, but...
That's essentially what I'm going to be doing, because it's got no basis in
now
there.
or later, but
Yeah,
let's save it till later.
Yeah, I mean, you can still do it. Ultimately, I suppose it hinges on whether I tell you if you're right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the definite bit that does need to be saved for the end. Otherwise, people are like, well, whatever, fucking gives a shit, there's your answer. Which, again, we could do. But, you know, in the vain hope that somehow people will stick around specifically to know that. Yeah. This is a weird game for me. The problem is, like with anything, just because of the negativity that's coming out of the Burnley game, which we addressed pretty well on the Final Word show this week. We just need to go out and win this game.
Oh yeah, big time. I think, there's a lot of Liverpool fans out there at the minute who are a little bit down, and they'll be taking that view from Burnley as how we're going to do this season. And I think you undersold that a bit. I think we did address that really well in the final word show. What we need to do now is for those fans, go and show them what the rest of the squad can do. Go and show them that it's not all fucking bad, because we can put out a string of players who should be in and around the first team who can go and obliterate Burton, and then their view might go, oh, do you know what, we've got fucking Markovic, and Markovic had a great game, and we got Grujic who scored 3 goals and is going to be our centre midfielder. You need to give, Liverpool fans need a little bit of a boost right now.
Bipolar swing, that's it. But here's the thing I don't want ahead of this game. This is again, if you haven't seen it, watch the final word show. In fact, watch the last 20 minutes of the final word show after Burnley, because we talked about this real air of negativity that just seems to mean that Liverpool are just 1 week written off, and the other week, the next week, title challenges. Now it needs to kind of calm down a little bit. But I'll be honest, I've lost my train of thought, which happens. But yeah, what I don't want to see ahead of this game is people going, oh, we're gonna, we're gonna lose this. Yeah, and there's a way of phrasing it that I've never quite been able to do myself, because I don't have that naturally in me. But it was like, the way people talk about Ian Ayre, when we get linked with someone and it's, well, Ian Ayre will fuck this up, and it'll be like, we're playing Burton, what I can't be arsed with. And I'm sure people go wild in the comments, because I know I'm just red rag to a bull, isn't it? Is this self-flagellation, or the self-deprecation is fine, but a defeatist attitude where it becomes a joke that Liverpool are shit, therefore this, whatever. I think everyone should go into this game thinking, yeah, go ahead, we've absolutely got the tools to do this. It's a fantastic opportunity for us to see more of some of the guys who haven't had the game time so far this season, and especially Aubrey under Klopp. Everyone will be fighting for places. Everyone will be gagging to prove themselves worthy of a place in the first 11. So even if we don't put out our first choice team, I'm confident, and I don't know how you feel about this, that the 11 that we put out should be so hungry to prove themselves that this should be an entertaining game of football from Liverpool, if nothing else.
Yeah, definitely. I think if we've done anything over the summer, it's improved the squad, isn't it? I think one result away at Burnley can't kill that. We would have said it 2 weeks ago, so it should still be said. If you didn't think that, and you were going, no, we haven't improved the squad, stick to your belief.
Yeah.
Don't let two results change your mind. So if you were sitting there...
Oh, exactly. It works both ways.
Yeah, if you were sitting there saying, no, we've not improved the squad, we've let X and X go, and we've only brought in average players, fair play to you. We'll see what happens in that. Or, in exactly the same way, if you were buzzing after Arsenal or pre-Arsenal saying, look, we've improved the squad, look at who we've brought in, look at these options, that's not changed. Few injuries. I think what we've actually seen in the injury that I'm most gutted for the first team is Sadio Mane, because you're nuts if you're not. The injury I'm most gutted for the first team / this cup team, Shea Ojo, because he'd have owned this team, because he'd have been the young one who's obviously just bags of talent, who would have been knocking on the door. He'd possibly come on against Burnley if he'd have been their option off the bench. May have even started to replace Sadio Mane's pace that was lacking. He'd have definitely started this game, and I want to see how good he is. He's not going to play, so that's unfortunate, isn't it? But I think you've got a couple of players there, not all of them. I think Alexander-Arnold, no matter how well he plays, if he does play, ain't getting near that first team. I know he's on the bench a few times, but that's because you've got to cover a full-back position. But
yeah, if Milner's fit for the Arsenal game, Alexander-Arnold isn't on the
exactly.
bench for that.
And you've got players like Stewart, who I think is fine, and he's not going to start. But then there's players like Danny Ings, who needs to go out there and remind all of us that he still exists. Yeah. Markovic needs to say, don't sell me next Wednesday, please. I don't want to move again. Yeah. I've had 5 moves in the last 4 years. It's really bad. Moving's a horrific thing. It's one of those things that, I think it's rated above death in the things people enjoy least. I don't know how they qualify with people asking about people being dead. But it was definitely on some BuzzFeed list I saw once. Markovic has had to do that 4 times. He's 22. He's moved more times than a transient.
Yeah.
Don't let him move again. He wants to be here. He's hugging Grujic. He's holding his hand on the bench in that footage we had of the was it?
Which we've not released.
I really want to put that.
It is.
Yeah.
It's in the.
Oh, is it?
It was, someone called it. I actually, because I did that edit, it was when we were talking about the players, and you were like, Grealish is so tough, he's so strong, and I put that footage over you saying how tough and strong he was, and someone in the comments was like, I love how it cuts to him doing that. But yeah, so do you know what I mean? But Markovic, is he going to come out and earn his place?
I'm looking forward to in this game is that us winning. I'd look forward to us winning because look, we should go and win. Again, we can. It exists within the realms of possibility. We lose, shit happens. It's footy. But I'm looking forward to being sat post match to this and going, Grujic. Just reminding ourselves again of what a talent, what a talent he is. I'd like to see Alexander-Arnold get a chance, just so we've got that again. It'd be nice to have a Scouse player to get excited about again, and kind of past that. I think just senior players getting themselves up to speed, like Matip and stuff like that. So yeah, should we have a key player prediction? Do you want to throw one out, anyone?
I'm going to steal Chris's.
Oh, go on.
Grujic with a hat trick in the first half.
Fucking twat.
No. I actually do think I think he will play this game, and I think he will be a key player. He was probably the only player to come out with a bit of credit from the Burnley game. I thought when he came on for the limited amount of time, he actually looked.
Well, he had a shot.
Which
was nice.
But he did what he does well, which is he stood in that gap of space and got that shot from midfield. I also think this game's got just Danny Ings.
Oh, both of them, Aubrey! Come on!
We were singing Danny Ings after a third round cup game outside Anfield this time last year. He's going to score again because he should be better than them. Yeah, and he will be better than them.
I wonder whether Daniel Sturridge would be available for this one. Given that he played 3 days earlier, it's a talent for him because I think we
did it last season though, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we need to get, because like Danny Ings, let's get him up to speed because we talk about the context of the season. That it's a long season. We want to get as many plates spinning so that we can interchange as in need as when we need. But Daniel Sturridge, I think there's something to be said for getting your goal scorers scoring goals. And as much as it'd be nice to have Danny Ings back into more match fitness, I'd like to see Daniel Sturridge get off the mark because I think it will put him in or even in a Origi, so that when it comes to Spurs, these guys aren't craving. Well, you want them craving a goal at all times, but they aren't. It isn't weighing on the mind. They've got to break the duck for the season, that kind of stuff, or something like that. Go on, Chris.
I think Origi's going to be the key man for us. I think if he starts, which is hopefully he will start. I think that's the kind of. Look, this guy's probably chomping at the bit already. I think he'll probably feel slighted slightly that he wasn't introduced earlier into the game. I think the game was, kind of set up after we conceded for him. Yeah. And I think he'll want to force himself into Klopp's plans as a proper first name on the team sheet type of a player. And I think this is the opportunity he should hopefully grab at both hands. Yeah.
For the Matip thing, I go with him so much as there's a great opportunity because the internet is just crying out, as mentioned again probably earlier and definitely on the final word, there's websites and that just crying out for opportunities to troll Liverpool, and Matip coming in and not having a good game would be the perfect example, because we've seen it, we've seen it with Coates getting battered by Mansfield and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to see him come in and just be fine. Just be a centre half. Doesn't need to be a world class centre half. Don't want him to be a shit centre half. I just wanted to come in.
Header from a corner would be nice though.
Yeah, that. But I don't want him to score from a set piece and make us a real thing. Everyone goes, oh my God, we've got another dimension to our attacking play. So that. Let us know your key man prediction below.
What was the trivia? Go on.
I'll get to the trivia.
Okay, I'm going to go with 1-0 Liverpool.
With a Grujic hat-trick. 4-2 Liverpool.
Wow.
Fucking hell. 3-0 to Liverpool. Go ahead. Trivia then, former Liverpool player and current Burton Albion boss, Nigel Clough. How many games did he play for Liverpool in the League Cup and how many goals did he score?
6 and 4.
Incorrect.
Played 12 and scored 4.
3 times.
3 goals.
Scored 2 goals. There you go. League Cup legend. To be fair, he only played one
exactly
season for us,
50%,
didn't he? So,
of course.
Yeah, there you go. If you got that right, good on you. Thanks very much for participating in the shittest trivia question we've had in recent time on Redmen TV. I think we've played Burton before, so
Well, at least since Dave Gill wrote them.
Yeah, no double agents. Not many people have played. I don't think we've ever had a player who's played for both. So there you go. Anyway, thanks very much for watching the show. As always, interact with us in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more Redmen TV goodness. First, you can click a notification thing as well if you're new to it to be notified whenever a new Redmen video comes. You need that in your life, surely. If you don't, then yeah, don't. But if you do, then do. It's as simple as that.